So you request a free license as a student. You masuk dekat sini. Okay, nampak dekat sini, Tableau for student. You get Tableau for free. And then dekat sini, mana dia punya isi? Okay, get Tableau for free kat sini lah. And then dia akan keluar this one. This one for student. So you isi lah. You isi your name, your university, email ni bukan suka-suka hati punya email lah. You make sure you have your student email. You have icswa.uitm kan?
Ya.
Ya.
Ada, sir.
Tak ada?
Ada.
Alright, good. So now UiTM already give icswa.uitm tu guna Gmail. Right. So you convert guna Gmail secepat mungkin activate. And then you letak dalam ni. Dia akan ambil masa dalam beberapa hari untuk dapat license. But it's sufficient lah. Because the first download tu you dapat 14 hari. Once you dapat the license from Tableau, you just activate saja. You akan dapat the full 6 month punya license. Right. So you don't need to buy. This is very expensive software. Right. Okay. Good. Now, I nak tunjuk beberapa benda dalam ni since I record this meeting. So once you already download the Tableau, can you download now? You download now. I will show you how to use the Tableau. So first, you need to download my data here. New York.csv, San Francisco.csv, Amsterdam.csv. So today I'm going to demonstrate using Amsterdam.csv, New York.csv, and San Francisco.csv. You should explore this data. So because this data will be used in your test number 1, right? So now kita tengok dekat sini, Amsterdam.csv is comma separated value file. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini, walaupun dia letak dalam bentuk Excel, this is not an Excel file, this is a comma separated value file. So it is important for you to understand the type of file before you open it. So untuk open type CSV file dekat Tableau website, Tableau software ni, this is a Tableau interface. So you need to go to text file. You nampak dekat tepi ni dia ada satu pane, dia ada banyak to a file, Microsoft Excel, text file, JSON file, Microsoft Access, PDF and so on lah. So dia ada statistical file pun ada kat sini, maksudnya you boleh buka based on SPSS, R file, SAS and so on lah. But we want to focus on CSV file. So go to text file and then select Amsterdam. Right. So are you begin tengah download ke macam mana? You all tengah download software tu ke macam mana? Yes, okay, good. So you make sure you download, nanti kita boleh you boleh try lepas ni, okay? Right. So let's say I just want to show you how to use very simple. Just click on Amsterdam and click open lah. So dia akan automatically import the data into data source. Kalau kita tengok kat bawah ni, the left, bottom left ni, dia ada data source. So this is the data that you already imported. So this, kalau nampak dekat atas ni ada the canvas satu, Amsterdam.csv. Ini adalah data yang kita dah masukkan. And then kita tengok dekat atas sebelah kanan ni, dia ada connection. Dia ada live, dia ada extract. Extract live means this is our live data kita ambil daripada desktop tadi lah. And then extract ni maksudnya kalau kita nak use some filter. Tapi kita tak nak tengok yang ni lagi. I nak tunjuk a very simple so you can do in your test. So dalam ni kita ada beberapa data, means we have 1000 rows dekat sini. Right, kita 1000 data. Right, 1000 rows. So dekat bawah ni, tepi belah kiri ni, you nampak ada file. Saya boleh besarkan tak? Besar. Ada file, and then dalam file ni dia tulis Amsterdam.csv, New_York .csv, San Francisco.csv means that this is the data available in this folder yang tadi I download tadi tu. Tapi kita tak panggil lagi pun. Kita hanya panggil Amsterdam.csv. So now, apa yang kita nak buat dekat data ni, kita nampak dekat sini, dia ada hashtag, dia ada ABC, dia ada world punya, globe punya simbol ni, and then dia ada hashtag lagi. Dia tengok dekat sini, ABC, hashtag dekat sini adalah warna biru, hashtag dekat sini warna hijau. Right? Boleh I just tunjuk nanti you boleh, you dah install, you boleh nampak boleh So what is the meaning of biru and hijau ni? Biru maksudnya data, categorical data. Means that string data, bukan numeric data. Kalau yang warna hijau is a numerical data. Right, numerical data. Kalau you nampak di hashtag ni, minimum likes dia bagi numbers. Number of reviews is numbers. Review per month also numbers. Kalau kita tengok dekat ABC ni, is a categorical data, qualitative data. Right, we already learned in chapter number 1, right? So the type of variable, right, still remember, type of variable, we have two type of variable, qualitative and quantitative. Right, dalam quantitative variable, we have a scale of measurement. Right, so you need to remember that one. And then kita ada dekat sini ABC also categorical data, but you look at the latitude and longitude, dia punya simbol adalah globe, right? So globe ni maksudnya this is a map data lah, data for map, right? Location. So now kita nak masuk sheet number 1, maksudnya kita nak create a graph. Let's say I want to create a pie chart. So pie chart is basically for a categorical data or qualitative data for a single variable. Single qualitative variable. Right, maksudnya kalau kita ada categorical data and then kita nak jadikan dalam bentuk pie chart, kita tengok berapa banyak yang besar, which area yang besar, which area yang kecil, we can use a pie chart. So now, so dekat sini kita akan ada, kita nampak sini room types. So kita drag and drop dekat row dekat sini. So dia akan letak dalam bentuk table. So dalam table ni kita ada room type, entire room, private room, shared room. And then dekat sini dia ada ABC. Maksudnya kita belum masuk data lagi dalam ni. So apa yang data kita nak measure dekat sini, dekat entire room, kita nak tengok apa? Let's say I nak tengok price of entire room, price for private room, price for shared room. So bila I drag and drop, let's say I ambil price ni, I drag, I drop dekat ABC. Right, so dia akan appear the data lah. So entire room, entire home, so dia ada 2 millions. Kenapa mahal sangat ni? Private room also 400,000. Masa mahal sangat ni? Kita tengok dekat sini, dekat card mark card ni, this is what we call as mark card. I think you already know this one because you already done the assignment. So nampak dekat sini ditulis sum. Maksudnya this is a total price for entire home. So sum basically is not really a good measure lah untuk tengok the distribution. You can click dekat sini, kalau you hover the price, sum price ni, kat sini ada drop down dekat sini. You click, you akan nampak dekat sini ada measure. We can either click on average, so dia akan nampak lebih reasonable berbanding dengan sum tadi. Right? So now, dekat sini, dia akan bagi kat kita, dia akan bagi kat kita frequency table only. Right? So if you want to create a chart, so kita tengok dekat upper right. Dekat upper right ni, kita akan nampak show me. Bila kita nampak show me, dia akan bagi suggestion kat kita. Apa yang kita boleh buat sebenarnya dekat sini? Let's say I tekan bar chart. So dia akan keluar bar chart dekat sini lah. Right? Alright. Okay. So tadi kalau I tukar let's say daripada average tu I tukar kepada sum. You nampak tak? Dia akan appear pie chart pula kat sini. So maksudnya dia akan bagi suggestion kepada kita. Okay, data yang dia bagi ni apa yang kita boleh buat sebenarnya. So let's say I nak ambil pie chart menggunakan sum. So let's say I letak daripada standard view to entire view. So dia akan dapat pie chart dekat sini lah. Alright. So let's say dalam pie chart ni I nak letak number. Right, I nak letak number. So tadi masa buat frequency table tadi, I nampak ada 3 kategori. So bila I buat pie chart, I nampak ada 2 je. So you nampak dekat sini ada satu lagi shared room ni, dia punya price dia orang yang paling tak banyak orang guna lah. So dia punya sum price ni sikit sangat. Right. So let's say kalau I tukar ni jadi average, then I nampak dah buat pie chart baru I nampak lah. Okay. Tadi I menggunakan sum, right, untuk dapatkan pie chart. But here, instead of angle ni I based on sum, I tukar angle based on average. So I akan nampak lah. Oh, dekat entire home ni ramai orang guna. Average price is 165. Lepas tu dekat private room is $100 lah. This is shared room $92. So I akan ambil this one. Let's say I nak letak dalam bentuk label. So I letak label. I just drag and drop dekat label ni. Contoh tadi semula I tekan this one. I tekan average price ni dekat angle ni. And then I tekan control. I just drag on label. So dia akan appear dekat label. Right. So this is a pie chart. So let's say I don't like this color scheme. I just go to color and click colors. I can adjust the color lah. Entire room, let's say I want pink color. And then I nak ambil color lain pula. This one I nak ambil color purple. Okay, this is yellow and this is green. So apply. So I will get the pie chart. Right. This is how we do a pie chart for using a Tableau. Right. Let's say dekat bawah ni kita boleh adjust lah. This just function dekat tab dekat bawah ni macam Excel punya function juga. Right. So next, let's say I buat satu lagi graph. I tekan sheet number 2. Let's say I nak tengok dalam room type for each neighborhood. For example, let's say room type, let's say I nak tengok private room, nak tengok berapa banyak dekat neighborhood ni. So let's say, bila I klik macam ni, I letak semua dekat row, dia akan keluar semua shared room, entire room, private room. So benda-benda yang I tak nak ni macam contoh macam entire room, so I don't want to see. Shared room pun I tak mau tengok. I just nak tengok private room dekat neighborhood. So what I need to do is I ambil room type ni, I tekan dekat sini, I tekan control, I go to filter. Drop dekat filter. And then dia akan close satu dialog box. So I just unselect yang I tak nak, I just select private room. So dia akan keluar only for private room. Right? So don't worry kalau you cannot catch this one. I already record this lecture. Right? Nanti lepas ni you boleh rewatch balik lah. And then I think you already know how to do this. I just going to very fast because we only have 2 hours to finish up 2 chapter. Right? Let's say I nak ambil tengok price, I letak dekat sini. So I dapat sum of price. Right? So dekat sini, let's say I nak display the chart. So I go to show me. So let's say I nak tengok bar chart. So I letak bar chart dekat sini. Instead of having summation, which is not really reflecting the actual private room price. So kita tekan dekat sini, ambil measure, click on average. So you akan nampak the actual average price for private room is basically, kalau kita tengok dekat sini, dekat area Centrum West ni, dia ada private room dia paling tinggi harga dia. So, kita boleh tekan sorting dekat atas ni. Okay, and then kita boleh switch to vertical bar chart as well. Right, and then we can change the color as well. Let's say I want pink color, right? So I can change the chart name. This is bar chart. Alright. So I ada dua chart dekat sini. So if I want to do a presentation, right, I tak perlu nak tekan-tekan ni. I can present the whole chart in one dashboard. So nowadays people are like to present the data in dashboard kan. So dekat bawah ni, kalau sebelah bar chart ni, you nampak dia ada tulis new worksheet. Sebelah new worksheet, we have new dashboard. So you click on dashboard. Dekat sini you akan nampak pie chart yang you dah buat, bar chart yang you dah buat. So you just drag and drop. Right? So dia akan dapat macam ni. So dekat sini you boleh buang. Right? You akan dapat a nice dashboard. Right? And then you can add text dekat sini. You can explore later. Right? This is my first dashboard. Right. You can adjust macam ni lah. Okay. Contoh. This is an example saja. Once you already have, I think once you dah complete the chapter dalam assignment, you already know the function inside Tableau, right? And plus advantage when you have a book, you boleh tengok lah macam mana I dah letak step by step dalam buku ni dah ada macam mana nak create bar chart, macam mana nak create a pie chart, how to use a map chart, semua dah ada, right? So, are you okay? Ada soalan tak setakat ni?
Okay. So far, okay.
Okay, right? So, can you switch on your webcam? So, I tak berapa nampak you punya muka dan I tak tahu I cakap dengan student ke. Can you switch on webcam? Right. So, this for a start, this lecture, I dah tunjuk dekat you how to download the Tableau software and how to import the data. So, I already show you how to import the data. Kalau kita nampak dekat sini, this is the first interface, right? So, how to import the data? If you have Excel data, you import Excel data. If you have a CSV file data or text file data, you import text file data. So, before you import the data, you need to make sure you know the type of data file. Even though, kalau nampak dekat sini, dia dalam bentuk Excel punya form icon, right? You jangan assume dia terus Excel, but you need to see the detail. You go to detail, let's say, mana detail view. View detail, you nampak dekat type ni, you nampak Microsoft Excel, separated value file. It means that this is a CSV file lah, right? So CSV file you cannot use a Microsoft Excel file, you should use text file. So dia akan nampak dekat sini the drop down of type file ni ada banyak lah. Text file, tab file, CSV and so on lah. So you can select CSV. Alright. And then in this first lecture ni, I dah tunjuk dekat you how to construct a pie chart and a bar chart. So, I ulang balik sekali lagi. Pie chart is only for categorical variable. Right, categorical variable. And the value here can be either macam-macam. This one I tunjuk dua combination of categorical and numerical lah. But basically it start with the categorical variable. Right. And then for bar chart pun, also for categorical variable. We want to see which category has the highest value and which category has the lowest value. Right. From here kita boleh tengok, kita boleh tahu which, okay, this is Central West has a highest rate of private room. And for the last one, for Osni, this is the lowest rate of private room. Right. And then I also show you how to create a simple dashboard. Right, simple dashboard. So if you have a creativity and you have time, you can explore this. Right. But the important part is how to import data, how to construct a pie chart, how to construct a bar chart. Right. I ulang tu saja. That is the important part. Okay, now let's go for Microsoft Excel. Right. So Microsoft Excel, I hope you already download all the data. Right. I dah bagi dekat you the data on monthly hand sanitizer. Dia bagi dekat you purchase order transaction, sales transaction July 2018. Right. So before this week, ada satu lagi data yang bagi dekat you. I think this one. Oh, I tak bagi data tu. Okay, I letak data lah. Chapter number 3, conditional formatting. I letak satu lagi data kejap . Home water filter. I lupa nak letak. Okay. I dah upload satu lagi data which is home water filter. So this is number 2 kan. Home water filter ni number 1. Right? Can you download this data? Kita nak tengok this data dulu. Means that I want to show you how to do a combination chart. Basically, this is very simple. I think most of you already know how to use Excel. But I just want to emphasize this one because we are focusing on this chart only. Right, so you open home water filter combination chart. Dah ke? Kalau dah, bagi tahu I. Sudah download? Terbabas. Apa yang terbabas? You pergi ke U Future, download. Okay, which week yang kita sekarang ni lah, 3rd May to 9 May. Right? So pergi ke data set for chapter number 3. Right? And then I already upload the newer data set which is home water filter combination chart. Yes, home water filter. So dalam home water filter ni ada 3 sheet lah. This is the first sheet which is a combination chart. This is a combination chart with the second axis, and this is a data lah, sheet 1. Right. So now we are trying to basically okay, sudah. Alright. Week number. Sudah download?
Sudah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we want to focus on actual revenue. Let's say, let me highlight this one, actual revenue and forecast revenue. Right, we want to focus on these two data. Right, so let's say I highlight these two data and click on insert. Right, are you with me?
Yeah.
And then kita tekan baca lah, tekan satu chart. Let's say baca dekat sini. You nampak kan ada insert, and then kita pergi ke chart dekat sini. Dia ada recommended chart, tapi kita tak nak pakai recommended chart lagi. Right, kita tengok ke insert column on or bar chart. Kita tekan insert column or bar chart, and then dia ada 2D column, 3D column, 2D bar, 3D bar. Right, so this is a vertical bar chart and this is a horizontal bar chart. So remember, when you constructing a chart, never use 3D chart. Right? Walaupun nampak cantik macam mana pun, jangan guna 3D chart because it's hard to read, very hard to read. Right? Nampak cantik, but it's not really recommended. It's not really a good chart to present the data. So if you want to present the data, always use 2D chart, either 2D column or 2D bar. Right, if you are using 2D 3D column or 3D bar, means that you are not really data presenter lah, right? So it's not really a good chart. It's a bad chart because it's really hard to read. Let's say kita tengok 3D bar ni. Oops, nampak tak? Dia macam susah nak baca. We don't really know the exact value of the bar, right? Because it's in a 3D form. So kalau kita buat 2D, so you can use, ada 3 dekat sini. Dia ada, first is a clustered column, second is a stack bar chart, stack column, and the one is percentage stack bar chart. So what is the difference? Cluster bar chart atau cluster column ni kita panggil cluster bar chart or multiple bar chart. It will present multiple category in one chart. Kalau kita ada stack bar chart, means that is basically a simple bar chart, but we splice the bar, we split the bar into two category, right? So it's still a good point to construct a stack bar chart, so we can see for each category for each bar, which category has the highest frequency and which category has a lowest frequency for each bar. And then we have a percentage stack bar chart, means that setiap satu bar tu dia akan convert kepada percentage, right? Dia akan convert kepada percentage. So kita akan tengok 2D bar ataupun cluster bar chart. Click this one. So kita akan nampak dekat sini. Let's say I letak tepi lah. So this is the cluster bar chart. But this is not what we want, right? Kalau kita nampak cluster bar chart, let's say it depend on data, right? So if you look at this data, we have actual revenue and forecast revenue. Kalau this is yang orange color ni adalah forecast. So normally when you do a forecast value, kita tak akan letak side by side bar. Kita akan letak satu line chart to show whether the actual value meet the forecast value, right? So dekat bar chart ni kita of course kita boleh change the title lah. This is cluster bar chart. Let's say this is a bar chart lah. Right. Okay. So now dekat sini, let's say kita pergi ke chart design, right? Let's say I want to change, instead of having a cluster bar chart, I want to have a bar chart and a line chart together. This is a combination chart. So maksudnya bar chart going to be actual revenue, line chart should be forecast revenue. Right? So now I pergi ke tadi guys pergi ke insert tab. So now I cari chart design. Right, chart design. I click on change type. Change chart type. Right. So tekan change chart type. So dekat sini you akan dapat satu dialog box. Right. So if I'm going too fast, you can tell me ya. So dekat sini I nak cari so by default sekarang ni kita tengah buat kolom, dia akan highlight kolom lah. So apa yang I nak combo, maksudnya I nak tukar satu bar satu line chart. So I go to combo. Right. So I can change actual value. Sekarang ni dia bagi dekat kita ni adalah apa? Bar chart is a actual value. The suggestion here. And the line chart is the forecast value. Forecast revenue. So either we want it to be like this or you want to change, kita boleh change dekat sini lah. Let's say I want actual value to be line and forecast value to be bar chart. So I can do that as well. But it's not really presentable lah. Selalu kita nak tengok actual berapa. Actual is a bar chart. Forecast it should be a line chart. So kita tengok ke sini, oh we know already we for month of June ni kita tak meet the forecast. Right? So kita letak okay lah. Klik okay. So I dah tukar. So maksudnya sekarang ni I letak bar chart ni sebagai revenue, line ni sebagai forecast. So since dekat bawah ni tak sama kan dengan Julai ni semua, and then I tekan select data to change the month lah. So I tukar. Right. So now it's kind of presentable of. Right. Baru nampak. Okay. So this is how we do combination chart lah. So let's say we want to create a second axis chart. Right, second axis chart. Maksudnya let's say this one semua dekat sini I nak pergi, I nak bawa ke sheet lain. So move chart to chart number 1, so I can move it to here. Right. So let's say I nak create a new another chart with second axis. Maksudnya dekat sini this is a first axis, right, on the y axis. Let's say I nak create satu lagi axis di sebelah kiri. Right. So of course this data is not really good to do a second axis because dia akan dapat benda yang sama lah. So what we need to let's say data yang I boleh fokus, instead of taking forecast revenue, let's say actual revenue dengan unit sold. I nak fokus pada dua ni. Right. So dia akan dapat dua measurement yang berbeza. Satu adalah in term of money, and another one is in term of unit. Right. So now same format. So I just select these two. Right. I just select these two and then go for insert bar chart. So kalau kita tengok kat sini ataupun bar chart is not really good. Say we go for line chart lah. Line chart 2D. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini, nampak tak? It's not really presentable. Kalau kita nak buat dua kolom ni, dua measurement dalam satu chart. Sebab apa? On y-axis dekat sini is measure on monetary punya measurement scale, but for unit sold it measure on unit, so it's not match scale. The measurement is not really match lah. So that's why kalau kita nampak kat sini, unit sold dia flat dekat bawah. Right? So for actual revenue dia akan letup tinggi ke atas. So next, what we need to do is we need to go for change chart type lah, and we go for combo. So let's say dua-dua yang nak letak, let's say unit sold ni I nak letak bar chart contoh, secondary axis, and then this is going to be alright. So I change, nampak tak I buat apa tadi? Okay, let's say I pergi change chart type, I go for combo, right? Combo, and then nampak dekat sini dia tulis actual revenue is a clustered column, right? And then unit sold is line chart. Tapi still line chart ni dia flat dekat bawah, right? So what we need to do is we need to create another axis dekat sebelah kanan ni to show the unit sold, right? So dia akan automatically macam ni lah. So dia akan dapat macam ni. Alright, good. So dekat sini kita ada on the left hand side we have actual revenue. On the right hand side kita ada unit sold. So kita boleh measure lah for let's say letak month dekat bawah ni, let's edit sikit, letak month. Right. So month of June, unit sold is unit sold dia ada lowest actual revenue, but unit sold is quite big. But for March, we have actual revenue quite high, but the unit sold is very low. Right? Ini kita boleh tengok balik and then can make a decision why this happen, what unit been sold. Right? Boleh tengok lah. Right. So this is what we call as a second axis chart. And then I move chart to chart 2. Right. Ada soalan tak setakat ni?
Okay.
Semua okay Right. So now let's look at conditional formatting. Basically this is I already post the video dalam YouTube, but I'm going to show again dalam kelas. Right. For conditional formatting, you buka monthly hand sanitizer data. Can you open monthly hand sanitizer data? Dia bagi dekat sini kan, dalam future monthly hand sanitizer sold by brand, conditional formatting. I just want to show you how conditional formatting is work lah, right? So under conditional formatting, dekat sini conditional formatting you can get under home tab. Dekat sini you cari conditional formatting. You semua nampak tak conditional formatting on your PC ada tak?
Ada.
Okay, good. Okay. Dalam conditional formatting ni, kita tengok dekat sini, kalau kita click on drop down dekat sini, we have highlight cell rules, we have top or bottom rules, and we have data bar, color scale, icon set. So we're going to look at these 5 function under conditional formatting. Basically, what is the purpose of conditional formatting? So let's say you have this kind of data. So you have from month January to December, you have 3 brands A, B, and C. Instead of presenting this data or presenting in a chart type of data, we can also we can just present the frequency table data, but with some apa orang kata visualization. or highlighting criteria. For example, let's say from brand A until brand C ni, I highlight this one. So I nak menggunakan conditional formatting untuk I highlight which hand sanitizer sold yang lebih daripada 750 and which one is between 500 to 750 and which one is have been sold less than 500. So I nak segregatekan by color. So I can see, oh brand A ni ada berapa yang lebih 750, berapa yang kurang 750, berapa yang kurang daripada our target 500. So I just go for conditional formatting. And then I click on highlight cell rules. So dalam highlight cell rules ni, dia ada beberapa option dekat sini. We have a greater than, less than, between, equal, text that's contain, duplicate value and more rules. Right? So kalau dekat sini tak ada rules yang you nak cari, you boleh click on more rules lah. But I'm going to show you greater than, less than and between. Right, let's say, let's look at a greater than first. So greater than, they can keluar macam ni. So what you need to do is, instead of using the suggested value, I nak cari value unit sold 750 and above. Maksudnya 750 ke atas sahaja. So I letak 750. I nak highlight dengan warna let's say hijau lah. So this is a very good brand that have been sold. 750 unit dah jual. Very good. So I letak okay. So dekat sini nampak dia dah highlight 750 ada dekat yang dah terjual 750 ke atas ada dekat brand B and C. Maksudnya brand A ni kurang laku sikit lah. Right. So tapi kita tengok dekat sini month of April it start spike. Month of April, May, June and then they spike lagi dalam December. So this is what happened when PKP kan last year and this is also PKP juga nak start. Right. So next I nak menggunakan between pula. I nak cari brand yang jual antara 500 ke 750. So I cari highlight rule between. So between daripada 500 ke 750. So I nak dia highlight dengan warna kuning. Right. So semua ni dia akan highlight warna kuning. So dia nampak dekat sini. Alright, kita nampak. Okay, this is 500. This is quite good lah. Right. Okay, acceptable lah untuk brand ni boleh jual. Tapi on certain month saja. Right, let's say kita tengok lagi. Less than 500. So kita ambil highlight cell. Less than 500. So saya letak dalam warna merah. So dia akan highlight. Oh, on January and February, okay, brand ni hand sanitizer kurang dapat sambutan. It start on spike dalam March. March tu dia dah menaik dah. Right? Itu adalah this is how we use conditional formatting for highlighting highlight cell rule lah. Okay? I hope you get that one, that idea, right? Now let's look at for data bar. For data bar, instead of we highlighting the we put the colors on each brand. This is for the whole brand kan. Maksudnya kita highlight, kita nak cari, oh kita tahu, okay, warna hijau ni maksudnya brand yang paling tinggi. We know that one, right? So for data bar, we are not going to highlight everything. We're going to compare for each brand. For each brand. So sebab dia akan keluarkan bar. So kalau kita highlight semua bar ni, semua data ni, so it will not giving a clear picture if you want to compare. So if you highlight for a single brand saja, so kita tahu dalam single brand ni which month have dia sold lagi banyak, which month dia sold sikit. Kita tengok this one. So let's say I highlight brand A, I go for conditional formatting, I click on data bar. right? On data bar. So now dia ada kat sini, dia akan keluar gradient fill, solid fill and more rules, right? More rules maksudnya kita boleh letak banyak-banyak color and then kita boleh letak dia punya uh, type apa kita nak pakai. Kita nak pakai based on percentage ke, kita nak pakai based on lowest value, numbers and so on. But I don't want to touch on that. We just go for data bar. Let's say I just select on gradient fill or solid fill, right? So I make solid fill. So for brand A, we know that on December dia sold paling tinggi. The next one kita ada May and October. The lowest unit sold in on January. It keep on increasing until May and then decreasing until September. And on October, they keep on spiking the sold. The item spike lah. We can do for same for brand B. Let's say I select this one. Brand C, I select on red color. Okay, you can see. So here we can compare easily. We can compare for, let's say, on month of March, right? So kita tengok on tiga brand ni, B, A, B and C. So kita nampak C lagi tinggi, kedua adalah B, yang ketiga adalah April. But still, this is a kind of good presentation, but it's still susah sikit nak baca lah. But I will show you later how to get another type of presentation, right? So tak semestinya kita akan pilih data bar, tak semestinya kita akan guna highlight cell rule. Kita ada banyak skill, banyak benda yang kita boleh buat. So we need to choose which one is suitable for your data to do a presentation. So let's say kita nak tengok icon set lah, ataupun color scale. Okay, color scale. Okay, color scale kita boleh one by one. Okay, color scale. Color scale pun sama juga. Let's say kita nampak color bar, data bar ni kita nampak dekat sini dia kurang kan. On color scale, dia will show a lighter color or brighter color depend on our condition lah. Let's say kita tengok sini. Brand A kita select for one by one. So we go for conditional formatting and color scale. We have many colors that are already suggested by Excel. Right, let's say kita tengok dekat sini ada colors, macam-macam color, but pelbagai color ni agak susah nak baca. We need to have a gradient or set of scale colors lah. So we need to click on rule, more rule. Let's say I menggunakan two colors lah, two colors cukup. Two colors, lowest value, I want it to be on the green. Highest value should be on lighter, terbalik ni. Lowest value should be a lighter green. Highest value should be a darker green. Right, and click OK. So kita nampak kat sini. And then sini kita boleh compare. Right, we know that. So the lighter color is the less unit sold by the company. Right. So the brighter, the dark color means that unit sold yang paling banyak, right? So we can highlight for brand B and C as well. So we go to color scale and click on more rules instead of you need to consistent. If you are using lowest value ni lighter color for the first one, so you should use the lighter color for lowest value, right? So dia akan nampak macam ni. Right. So brand C sama juga. Let's say I create more rules and then instead of using this color, let's say I guna blue color. Alright, good. Okay, then baru nampak. So this is one way of presenting the data lah. Right? Instead of we are creating a chart, we're creating the data using frequency table, but we put some colors. Okay. Hey manusia, okay ke? Dah tak nampak muka you all.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Alright, now let's we go for icon set. Okay, icon set. So icon set ni sama juga function je. Dia just conditional formatting. This is just a same objective. We want to show which value has a highest frequency, which value condition have a lowest frequency. For icon set, let's say I highlighting a brand A juga. So I pergi ke conditional formatting, I go for icon set. So kita ada beberapa rules lah dekat ni, directional, shape, indicators, rating, kita boleh letak lah. But you need to carefully use your icon if you want to use icon lah. Because dekat sini dia tak berapa, it's not really a good way to show lah by default. So jangan guna this one. You just need to go for more rules to create your own rules, right? So let's say I nak menggunakan icon set. So this is a available icon set, right? So jangan guna benda-benda yang merepek lah, nanti susah nak faham. As long but if you define well, then you can easily to understand lah. So let's say I nak letak menggunakan pangkah, exclamation marks and right. So I menggunakan this one. So kalau marks dia item dia jual 750 ke atas, then I should tick marks. When item is less than 500, it should be pangkah. So then baru I nampak lah. And then type, instead of using percentage, I change to numbers. Kalau tukar number, dia tukar balik. Okay, 750, 500. Right. So nampak kat sini. Dalam brand A ni dia ada banyak pangkah, maksudnya dia tak met our requirement, which is 500 and above. But is most from 1 of April, May, dia ada dalam bentuk from 500 to 750. Let's go for the second one, B, right? So you can choose other things. Let's say I want to choose circle icon, right? So instead of using percentage, I use number. This is 470. This is 500. So this is the condition that I nak. So ada tampak kat sini. Okay. So dalam bulan Mei dan Jun, okay, they made our criteria, which is 750 they sold. For month of July, they sold dia rendah sikit. But they spike balik daripada October to December, dia makin naik. Right. So this is one of the way lah. You can choose either one. But putting more icon in one dataset is a bad idea, right? So you should standardize your icon if you want to use icon lah. If you are using a circle, you should for brand A and brand C pun you guna circle juga. You tak boleh guna campur-campur. Dia akan buat reader pening. So what is the objective of the data visualization? Kita tak buat presentation untuk kita sendiri faham. Kita nak orang faham. So bila kita nak orang faham means that you need to simplify the presentation. Right? Simplify the presentation. So you cannot make it complicated. And macam tadi I cakap, nak buat 3D bar pun tak boleh juga. Sebab it's hard to read. Kalau kita tengok data-data yang dipublish dalam KKM COVID data pun, dia tak guna 3D data sangat pun, 3D presentation. Dia guna simple 2D presentation. So what is the objective? They want people to understand what is the data is telling us. Right? Itu saja. Okay? Boleh faham? So let's look at Sparkline. Sparkline is the same function, but it's quite a good presentation juga. So Sparkline ni dia ada dekat mana tau? Dia ada dekat insert, right? Dekat insert tab, and we can go find Sparklines. This is very good presentation. For example, let's say I want to compare these three brands together, in this month, January, I want to compare 3 brands together. Instead of clicking on bar chart, so I letak satu-satu, it's hard to read, right? So kita tak mau letak dalam bentuk chart, kita nak letak dalam bentuk frequency table, but we want people to compare by themselves. Dalam sebelah-sebelah ni, I nak tunjuk rough bar chart, so people will know which brand having a lowest unit sold, which brand having a highest unit sold. So instead of using creating a bar chart, right, separately, we are going to create a bar chart beside the frequency table. So now let's say I highlighting these 3 brand, 3 item, 3 unit sold, quantity sold for January, and I focusing on Spotlight punya function. So Spotlight ni ada line chart, column, win and loss. So kita tengok dua ni saja dulu. Win and loss nanti once you dapat buku, you boleh tengok. Right, column chart. So dia akan keluar this dialog box, create Spotlight. So you just click on data range. Kita make sure kita select brand A, B and C for this column. And then location, where you want to put. So I want to put on H4. So I letak kat H4 ni, I click this one, I click OK. So nampak tak? Dia dah ada bar chart kat situ. Right. So I highlight this one. Right. So dekat sini, you can drag and drop macam biasalah. So kita nampak dekat sini. So the first column will represent brand A, second column will represent brand B, and third column will represent brand C. So dekat sini kita nampak dah. Oh, dekat month of August, brand A ni spike. Brand B ni dia low. Mungkin dia ada promotion kot dekat sini, kita tak tahu. Right? So you need to investigate. So still, kalau kita tengok dekat sini, dia is having a single color. Single color is not already best. This is the best way to present with a single color. Less color is very good. But we want to audience, our reader, to know which brand having a highest value, which brand having a lowest value. So we want to segregate it by colors. So now kita highlight dekat sini, and then we go to Spotlight tab. Spotlight tab, kita focus on this function only. So nampak ada banyak function dekat sini. We are focusing on this function only. And then I can change the color lah. Let's say I want to use it light blue lah, light blue. And then marker color. So dekat marker color ni high point, I want to change it to green color. Lower point, I change to red color. So nampak tak? So we can see here very clear and nice presentation. For brand B, brand C ni from January until May ni dia paling tinggi dia unit sold. For brand A, sama juga brand A from January to June dia jualan dia paling rendah. And then they continue on October to December. And it spike on August, right? Okay. This is one way to use a Spotlight. So let's say we want to compare on the brand A itself. We want to know the movement of this product sold, right? From January to December. So instead of using a bar chart, let's say I'm using a Spotlight, I cari line chart, right? I selecting this brand A. I want it to produce the line chart over here, which is a B16. So I click OK. So dia akan produce a line chart. Right. Sama juga, we can go for Spotlight color. Let's say I choose a lighter color, and then for the highest point, I put on the green color. Lowest point, I letak red color. So nampak tak? But if you look at the brand A ni, dia ada improvement lah. Kalau kita nampak ni, kita boleh we can tell that brand A is improving in terms of selling their products. So same as bar chart, we can drag and drop, benda yang sama. Right, brand C pun dia ada improving juga. Kalau you buat straight line lah. For brand B ni dia ada sedikit slide. Dia ada spike sini, dia turun balik. Nampak tak? So this is how we do a comparison or data visualization. Instead of presenting the separate chart, we presenting the chart on the beside the table. Okay? Boleh?
Boleh, sir.
Okay, good.
Okay, okay.
Before we proceed, I nak tanya, bila you nak buat test number 1, I cadang test number 1. Bila nak buat ya? Our next class on bila? 21st 22nd, 29. Oh, 29. Okay, 29. 29. So decide lah. Okay, kalau I decide kejam you. You want to do a voting? Okay lah, I akan buka test 1 dekat you. Kejap, I fikir. Okay, from 24th May until 28 May. I buka 5 hari saja I buka. Listen carefully this is very important. I akan buka test 1 you 24 hari bulan sampai 28 hari bulan. Right. Maksudnya you boleh pilih masa yang you free untuk jawab test 1 tu daripada 24 sampai 28, and masa yang you pilih tu make sure your computer is very good condition and you have a very good line connection. Right? Sebab you hanya sekali saja peluang untuk jawab. Maksudnya masa daripada 24 sampai 28 ni, you katalah let's say you nak tengok kokot boleh tengok soalan kan. Tekanlah, tekan, you tutup balik. Lepas tu you tak boleh masuk dah. Sekali saja you ada peluang. You buka, you terus jawab terus. You ada 1 jam untuk jawab. Boleh faham?
Boleh. Faham, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Next, kita tengok I think sorting and filtering data you tahu kan? Kan nak tunjuk juga. Okay lah, tunjuklah. Okay, so filtering data you tengok purchase order transaction. Purchase order transaction. Purchase order transaction. Alright. So let's say I just nak tunjuk satu function lah. This is function ni akan masuk dalam test sajalah. Alright. Okay. Function dia adalah sorting. So dekat home tab ni kita akan nampak sort and filter. Dekat sini. Sort and filter. So let's say we want to sort based on customer. So kita highlight dekat sini. Sort A to Z. So dia akan sort based on customer lah. A to Z. Boleh. If you want to sort based on ascending order, descending order, highest to Z to A. So maksudnya daripada belakang ke bawah. It's very simple. Right. And of course you can also do a filtering by click on filter function. Right. So dia akan keluar filter menu lah dekat sini, dia akan drop down dekat sini, nampak tak? So let's say I just want to focus on sonic and sound sendiri berhad. So dia akan keluar sonic and sound sendiri berhad saja. So this is for filtering, right? So filtering by color is not really suggestible lah. So let's say I don't want to use filter anymore. I want to conclude this table. Nampak table ni banyak sangat kan? Apa yang dia beritahu kat table ni? So I want to conclude this table. Let's say I want to make it a simple summary table, right? Simple summary table. Let's say kita guna data lain lah. Boleh jugalah. We go for insert and click on pivot table. Dia dekat sini pivot table, recommended pivot table. So we can choose either one. So but better we use a pivot table lah, because we already know what we want to know, what we want to present. Let's say I want to choose a pivot table. Dia dekat sini dia akan keluar create a pivot table, choose data that you want to analyze. So we choose select table arrange lah. Kita select semua data ni, dia akan pre-select. Dia akan select semua. And then dekat bawah ni dia akan tulis choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. You want it to be this place ataupun you nak letak dekat new worksheet. Right? So I lebih suka letak dalam new worksheet. Right? Sebab dia akan, kalau letak dalam data set, dia akan nampak serabut. So better you letak dalam new worksheet, click OK. So dia akan create a new worksheet. So this is a worksheet for pivot table. So dekat bawah, dekat sebelah kanan ni, you akan nampak pivot table field. So this is the variable that you have in this sheet number 1 ni, dekat sini. Order date, customer, order number, item until arrival date. So let's say dekat bawah ni dia ada filter, dia ada column, dia ada rows, dia ada values. Maksudnya we need to know apa yang kita nak present. Let's say I want to present customer, I letak dekat rows. So dia akan keluar dalam bentuk rows. So kita nampak lah, this is audio accessories, this is sonic sendirian berhad, sound sendirian berhad and so on. So apa yang dia buat dekat sini, dia summarize kan, berapa transaction ni dia summarize kan, ada berapa banyak Vogue Corporation. Dia letak Vogue Corporation sebagai satu. And then on column side, apa yang kita nak letak? Let's say kita nak letak let's say order amount lah, the average of order amount. So dekat sini mana tadi? Okay, average of order amount. So I letak order amount, mana order amount dekat sini, I letak dalam values. So dia letak by default dia akan letak sum of order amount. Sama juga konsep dengan Tableau. Right? Nampak tak? Tableau tadi you buat macam mana? You just drag and drop. Right? Sebab Tableau dia adalah dia bukan untuk analytics. Dia hanya untuk data presentation and visualization. But Excel it covers both function, analytics and presentation, visualization. That's why we need to click on pivot table. But it's same function. So instead of having a sum of order amount, so I nak letak average order amount. So I pergi kat values dekat sini, I klik dekat drop down ni, dekat sini ada value field setting. I click on value field setting. Instead of having a summation, I nak dia bentuk average. So I click OK, average. So dia akan bagi dalam bentuk average lah. So now, dalam average ni pun, let's say dia nampak banyak sangat point kan? Banyak sangat point. You pergi balik tadi, you pergi ke drop down menu new, you tekan value field setting and tekan number format. Number format, instead of having many decimal point, we want to restrict to 2 decimal point. To 2 decimal point, click OK. So dia akan change to 2 decimal point. Right? So let's say apa lagi kita ada kat sini? Item detail is so complicated. So let's say item detail ni letak dekat row juga, dekat atas. So and then I copy letak kat atas tu lagi. Sorry, item detail. Oh tak boleh, okay. Item detail ni, I boleh pilih lah. I nak apa, LED bulb. So tengok, okay ada dua ni saja. Oh this, audio interference. So kita boleh pilih lah. This is a very good pivot table lah. But let's say kita tak mau this one. Let's say kita tak mau, kita just drag and drop dekat atas balik lah. And then we can draw a bar chart based on this table. Then baru kita nampak data tu lebih organized and lebih presentable lah. Berbanding kita menggunakan this one nak kena summarize pula satu-satu, payah. So kita menggunakan pivot table and then we can do data summarization and visualization from pivot table. Okay. Boleh Ada soalan tak before we go to the next chapter, which is chapter number 4? Or you want to get a nice 5-minute rest? Alright, boleh kita continue? Lagi cepat kita habis and lagi bagus.
Yeah.
Right. So this is chapter number 4. Chapter number 4, we will learn about descriptive statistical measures. Right. Descriptive statistical measures. So under descriptive statistical measures, we need to understand some terms. First is about population and samples. Right. So we have population and samples. So population means that all members in area of interest. All members are in area of interest. Samples means the subset of population. Means let's say for example, let's say I want to do a study on knowledge, attitude and practice on dengue fever prevention at Perak Tengah districts. So Perak Tengah districts is my whole population. Maksudnya residents in Perak Tengah district is my population. Samples means that let's say I take 50 observation, 50 respondent from Sri Iskandar, 50 respondent from Kampung Gajah, 50 respondent from Bota, and that one we call as a sample. So dalam statistical measure, you already know, just now kita tengok mean which is average kan, mean is the average. So population, when we take the measure mean for the whole population, the symbol is mu, and mean for sample symbol is x bar, right? And then variance for population is sigma squared, variance for sample is s squared. So we stop there. So we need to understand there are two measurements in statistical measures. First measurement is for population, second measurement is for sample. For this subject, we are focusing on sample measurement. We are not looking into population, we are looking into sample. So now, dalam mean ni, let's say kita look at measure of central tendency. We are focusing on sample, right? Measure of central tendency. Dalam measure of central tendency, we're going to learn basically three measures. First is mean, second is mode, and the third is median. Right? Mean is the average value. Average value. The formula for mean is summation of xi divided by n. I equal to 1 until n, where x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus until xn divided by number of observation divided by n. So this is a formula for mean, right? Mean maksudnya, let's say kita ada set of data, so we want to know a single value that represent the data. Faham tak? Let's say I buka purchase order transaction ni. So I ada order amount. So order amount ni ada banyak sangat. So I want to know what is the average, what is the one value to represent the order amount. Average order amount, selalunya berapa banyak orang order on average. So we will take average value. So kalau you highlight this one, you akan nampak dekat bawah ni dia tulis 27,558. But for average, it's not really a very good presentation. Let's say for example, let's say I letak satu rand from 10 to 30. So I letak sini, I letak dalam beberapa data, right? Ada basically 12 data dekat sini. You nampak? Ada 12 data dekat sini. So dalam 12 data ni, range dia between 10 hingga 30. So kalau I ambil mean, right? I ambil mean, I akan dapat 19.67. So which is reasonable lah. 19.67 dia lebih kurang dekat tengah-tengah. Right? So kalau let's say I ada satu lagi data 70. Satu lagi outlier. Data ni dia 70. So bila I ambil mean, dia akan dapat 23. Right? Which is not really, dia akan lebih skewed ke kanan sikit sebab the existence of 70 ni. Let's say I change to 100. So bila nampak dekat sini, dia akan lebih mencapai ke ketinggian tu. Walaupun kita tengok dekat sini, most of the data, dia tak ada apa yang 25 ni ada satu je 26. Dan 29 ni dia dua je. Yang ke 25 ni. But yang disebabkan satu data ni ada value yang tinggi, which is outlier. So the value of mean tu dia tak really represent the whole sample. Let's say kalau I changed it to 5,000. Boleh tengok ya, I highlight this one. So the mean become 404. The mean become 404, which is not really representable to the whole sample. So that's why mean is a good measure juga when you have no outliers. No outliers mean you don't have any extreme values. Means that extreme value macam ni lah. Number yang you ada dekat sini daripada 10 ke 30. But here satu value ni dia ada extreme value. Terlalu tinggi ataupun terlalu rendah. So dia akan mempengaruhi the whole value dekat sini. Right? So now what we need to understand mean is for numerical value saja. For numerical data. Numerical data means for number data lah. Kalau you ada categorical data, let's say tak boleh calculate mean, is going to be a wrong number. Right, for mode, the symbol for mode is, let's say I use another color, mode is X hat. So this is symbol for mode. Mode apa maksud? Most frequent value to occur. Kalau kita tengok data ni, the most frequent value to occur kita ada, let's say 19 3 kali. And we have 27 ada 1, 2, 3 juga. Right? 30 kita ada 1, 2. Right? Okay. So dekat sini we have two modes. Mode number 1 is equal to 19. Mode number 2 is equal to 27. Kita ada 2 mode. Maksudnya kita tengok berapa banyak number tu muncul. Kalau dia muncul 3 kali, this is a 3 times, and 27 also 3 times, maksudnya kita akan ada 2 modes. Boleh faham Sebab modes kita nak tengok berapa banyak most frequent values to occur. Let's say for median. Median, the symbol for median is X tilde. X tilde. So is middle value. Middle value of a range data. Middle value of a range data. So this is median lah. Okay. So instead of having this kind of value, let's say I highlight this one, I copy, I paste dekat sini, paste with numbers. And then I want to sort from the smallest to the largest. Dia tak boleh. Let's say copy, letak kat sini jap. Okay, I sort from the smallest to highest. Maksudnya median ni kita nak kena sort based on from the smallest to highest. So dekat sini kita ada 13. So for 13 ni kita akan ambil the middle value. This is kalau ikut cara lama, cara student dulu, sekolah rendah dia buat macam ni lah kan. So kita akan ambil the middle value. So our median is equal to 26, which is representing the whole population, whole sample, right? So this is a median. Okay, so this is part of measure of central tendency, right? So measure of variation or range. So let's say kita tengok range. So range is equal to maximum value minus minimum value, right? Maksudnya kita nak tengok what is the range of this data from the minimum minimum to maximum. Kita ambil let's say this data ni, I ambil ni, so I tahu maximum value is 30. I buang lah 5,000 ni, which is not really representable kan. 30 tolak 10. So kita the range is 20. So this is how we calculate range lah. And then we have variance and standard deviation. So what is the point of variance and deviation? All right, variance and deviation is, for variance we call as S square. The symbol is S square. Standard deviation is S, where standard deviation is equal to the square root of variance. Alright, sebab chapter 4 ni tak banyak, sikit saja. Don't worry. Now I want to explain to you what is the function of variance. For example, let's say we go to a playground. Two playground. We go to two playground. Playground A and playground B. In playground A, we measure age of the children. Maksudnya kita ambil 10 children, kita measure age of the children, dia punya umur. Sama juga kita buat untuk B, playground B. Kita ambil 10 student, kita 10 children, kita measure dia punya age, kita tanya umur dia berapa. So, let's say for playground A, the mean is equal to 5 years old. Right? And for B, kita dapat juga benda yang sama, 5 tahun. Kebanyakan on average B 5 tahun, on average A also 5 tahun. Can we say these two playground having same distribution? By looking on the mean value only, we cannot say like that unless we need to tabulate. Let's say I tabulate the first the first distribution, this background A, let's say I tabulate this one, I dapat macam ni, let's say a bit flat macam ni. Okay. Maksudnya dekat mean dekat sini X bar equal to 5. And dia punya observation dekat sini a bit spread. Right? Ini adalah observation lah children, setiap children. For playground B, let's say I dapat sedikit tinggi berbanding dengan A. X bar still equal to 5. But the observation is scattered around the mean. So of course, this is A, this is B. Of course, by looking at the distribution, we cannot say these two distribution having a same distribution, same spread. Right, kalau kita tengok dekat A ni, dia punya observation, maybe the minimum value is 1 years old, the maximum value is 10 years old. For this distribution, maybe the minimum age is 3 years old, the maximum age is 7 years old. So, nampak dekat sini, dia tak sama. Right? So, this is one way to know whether the two distribution is same or not. So, the fastest way to know without drawing the distribution or graph, we need to use variance or standard deviation. So variance or standard deviation, the formula should be S squared should be equal to summation of X squared minus summation of X, and then you squared, divide by N, and everything divided by N minus 1. This is for variance. For standard deviation, we're just taking a square root of variance. Right? Now, let's look at the purchase data transaction. On purchase data transaction, let's say I want to focus on order amount. So if I want to measure the mean, I boleh saja I select daripada sini to this one kan. I select, I akan nampak dekat bawah ni. Dekat bawah ni I akan nampak 27,559.89. This is how we know, right? Tapi this is for fastest way lah to know. But if you want to put it into our result presentation, we just use measurement dia average from order amount to G4 to G110. So we will get the average amount of the average of order amount, the mean of order amount. So if you want to find median, you no need to rearrange the data, but we just use function median from G4 to G110. So you will get the value of median, right? So of course, yang mana satu kita nak pakai, mean ke median dekat order amount ni? If you are looking at the data, you nampak tak ada extreme values kat sini? Ada 121,000, this is 5,000, right? This is 100,000. So means that mean is not really representable for money. If you want to measure for money, use median. Right? Same goes to mode. Let's say mode, kalau kita nak guna MODE dot single mode. Let's say we want to measure single mode, and from G4 until G110. So you will get the mode. For range, maximum value of G4 to G10 minus minimum value from G4 to G10. Allah. Oops. G4 to G10. Okay. So for variance, let's say kita tekan variance VAR. So dia ada dua, variance.p, variance.s. So variance.p is variance for population, variance.s is variance for sample. So remember, ini formula for variance for sample. So we are focusing on variance for sample. Right? So sama juga step dia, just select G4 until G10. Oh, besar sangat. Right, dah dapat dah. The value. Right? Standard deviation same. We just used STDEVS from G4 to G1110. So you will get the answer. You will get the result lah. Right. So kita belajar ini. How to calculate mean, median, mode, range, variance, and deviation using a function. This function, kat sini I tunjuk formula. Okay, this is the function. Kalau boleh you need to understand lah how to use this function. If you cannot remember, but you need to remember in your test number 1. But if you cannot remember in your work field, you want to do a descriptive measure, but you tak ingat dia punya formula, don't worry. Remember on the first class, I asked you to install toolpack function, toolpack add-in, right? So toolpack add-in, you nampak dekat sini, you pergi ke data tab and click on data analysis. You go to data analysis, you akan dapat this this is a dialog box, and then click on descriptive statistics and click OK. Input range is from G4 to G110, and then kita nak output dia, kita nak dia present dekat sini. I nak dia present dekat bawah ni. Oops, letak dekat sini. Okay. And then should present summary statistics and click OK. So nampak tak? Dia akan keluarkan kita the value of mean dan bagi kita standard error. This is a standard sample variance, is standard deviation. This is a mode. Dia dah bagi mode sama je. Median also there, right? And they also give us the value of range, right? Kita dah calculate range tadi, minimum value, maximum value, the summation, the total observation, courtesies, skewness, right? So skewness and courtesies. Kita tengok skewness and courtesies dulu sebab kita dah tengok sini kan. Okay, skewness, courtesies lah. Kalau kita nampak dua distribution ni, you nampak dua distribution ni, dua graph ni. This is the first graph and this is the second graph. Kalau dia flat, this is what we call as flat. Flat distribution maksudnya dia melandai sikit. Ini dia peak distribution, maksudnya the mean is up there. Dia macam ada peak dekat atas tu. So ini kita panggil peak, ini kita panggil flat distribution. So macam mana nak tahu kalau courtesies, I bawa ke tepi sikit. You need to write down this one. Kalau courtesies is less than 3, the value of courtesies is less than 3, then the distribution is flat distribution, which is the observation is widely spread around the mean, right? If courtesies is more than 3, observation, kita akan dapat a peak distribution. Observation is concentrate around the mean. around the mean. So dia lebih around the mean, dia lebih dekat dengan mean. Ini dia lebih jauh dengan mean. Kalau kurtosis is less than 3, kalau kurtosis is more than 3, dia lebih dekat dengan mean. Kita tengok dekat sini. Kurtosis dekat sini dia bagi 3.44. Means that dia above the above 3 kan. This is kurtosis is more than 3. So means that the observation is around the mean. Maksudnya lebih concentrate, and then dia akan lebih dapat pelycotic punya shape. Maksudnya lebih peak dia punya shape. Itu maksud kurtosis. Skewness, I want to focus on skewness. Let's say tadi kita tengok kurtosis kan. Skewness. Okay. Turun bawah sikit. Skew, mana yang sama bosan Skewness ni kita nak tengok sama ada dia the distribution is tak cantik pula. Distribution is normally distributed or symmetrical distributed, or the distribution is skewed to the right, or distribution is skewed to the left. So this is from negative infinity to infinity, negative infinity to infinity, negative infinity to infinity. And this is your mean or mode dekat sini. This is your mode, and this is your mode. Okay, so this is what we call as a symmetrical distribution or normal distribution. This is what we call as a skewed to the right distribution. And this is what we call as a skewed to the left distribution. I hope you understand this one. I try to explain carefully. So now, skewed normal distribution. This is number one. Let's say look at number one, number two, and number three. Okay. Number one maksudnya when the area on the left hand side are same as area on the right hand side. Maksudnya area di sebelah kiri dengan area di sebelah kanan displitkan oleh mode ni sama size. Maksudnya this is a symmetrical distribution. Ataupun skewness coefficient ni bukan 8K skewness SK mesti dapat 8 SK equal to 0, maksudnya the value of skewness equal to 0, dia akan dapat symmetrical distribution. This is a right distribution, skewed to the right distribution, maksudnya area on the right hand side is larger compared to area on the left hand side. So this is what we call as a skewed to the right distribution, or you can see the tail is longer on the right hand side, towards the right hand side. So this is a skewed to the right distribution. When you have the value of skewness is more than 1 or more than 0 lah, more than 0, which is a positive value. So this is what we call as a skewed to the right distribution. For skewed to the left distribution, area on the left hand side is larger compared to the area on the right hand side, or we can see the tail is longer on the left hand side. So this is what we call as skewed to the left distribution. When the value of skewness is less than 0 or negative value, so this is what we call as a skewed to the left distribution, right? So kalau kita tengok dekat sini, the skewness value is a positive value, it's more than 0. So we can say that the distribution of a order amount is skewed to the right distribution. Skewed to the right distribution. Okay? Boleh? Hey manusia, okay ke? Okay, good. So now the last measure yang I nak tunjuk adalah closing stock price. Kita tengok closing stock price data. Sebab kat sini kita boleh buat comparison. Yang ni I nak tunjuk the measure of descriptive statistics sajalah. The last part on chapter number 4, which is coefficient of variation. Tadi remember tak I bawa contoh ni? So macam mana kita nak tahu distribution is more flat or most widespread or around the mean? Kita tengok kepada value of variance. Kalau variance dia kecil, kalau let's say distribution A and distribution B dekat sini, bawa dekat sini, okay. Guna color hijau lah. Okay. Kalau kita tengok variance dekat sini, standard deviation lah. Kita tengok standard deviation B. Ni A. Kalau standard deviation A ni, let's say kita dapat 1.2. Let's say this is, let's say 3.2 lah. This is 3.2. And standard deviation for B, kita dapat 2.5. So, kalau standard deviation ni kecil, maksudnya berbanding standard deviation A, maksudnya this one is very good lah. Maksudnya the distribution itu, dia around the mean. Dia kecil, dia sangat rapat dengan mean. Kalau standard deviation tu besar, right, maksudnya dia widespread. Dia akan menjarak. So, to confirm this value, we're going to use another value, which is coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation or COV. COV. So, the formula of coefficient of variation is standard deviation divided by mean multiplied with 100%. So, this is the formula. So, apa formula dia beritahu? If we have a smaller value, the smaller value will indicate the spread is more consistent compared to the larger value. Contoh kita tengok dekat sini. Let's say kita ambil mean. This is average from Maybank to B5 to B24. Right, and standard deviation STD to 24. Right. So this one kita boleh select semua lah. So kita nak compare antara closing stock price ni, antara public bank, Maybank, HLB, Fin CIMB, which one is more consistent? Yang bagi result yang consistent. Yang bagi result consistent, that is the best investment platform lah kita kena pergi. Kalau yang tak consistent is not the best one. So to compare, we can use a coefficient of variation. Remember, coefficient of variation, standard deviation divided by mean multiplied with 100%. So it will be presenting in percentage. So we will use mean standard deviation divided by mean multiply with 100%. So you will get 1.5%. For Maybank, kita dapat 1.5%. Yang paling tinggi 4.9, which is CIMB. So if you can see, coefficient of variation for Maybank is the lowest compared to others. Maksudnya the variation dekat sini adalah lebih konsisten berbanding dengan yang lain. Tak? Kalau kita tengok dia punya data pun lebih konsisten. Walaupun ada sedikit penurunan berbanding dengan yang lain. Itu bermaksud kepada coefficient of variation. Okay. I think that's all. Kita dah habis chapter number 4. Very simple. Chapter number 4 very simple and very little to cover. But it is very complicated if you don't understand the term and where to use and when to use. Okay? Ada soalan tak? Soalan before we end our session?
So far tak ada. Kalau ni kita dalam discuss boleh sir?
Tak berapa dengan kuat sikit?
So far nampak macam okey lah. Walaupun sir tadi agak laju sikit lah. Tak terkejar je kami ni.
Itulah masa laju tadi kita slow down I sikit tadi. Laju sangat. Tapi don't worry. Because we have recording. Right? We have recording. Nanti I akan masuk dalam apa nama content lah. You boleh download recording tu dalam future. Right?
Sir, recording tu recording hari ni ke ataupun recording soalan yang lain?
Recording hari ni.
Oh, yang ni lah, yang Google Meet ni lah.
Ya.
Okay.
So you can rewatch balik lah. Itu saja. So if you have any question further, you boleh tanya don't worry, I boleh jawab insyaAllah. Tapi you ingat chapter 1 dan chapter 4 yang hari ni kita belajar ni, kita akan buat test 24 to 28 Mei. Ataupun you nak tangguh lagi? Are you okay with this date?
Yang test tu.
Bentuk soalan sah?
Contoh soalan?
Bentuk soalan.
Bentuk soalan don't worry. Dia adalah bentuk multiple choice question.
Objektif.
Objektif. But your objective pun, you need to open your Excel, open your Tableau to get the answer. You need to manipulate lah. Let's say I give you a data, I ask you a question. So what is the highest value, what is the mean, apa semua you kena cari dalam Excel ataupun Tableau. Okay. Not to worry lah, very simple. Right. So the most important part is buy this book. Hey, you diam saja. How many question? Nanti I belum decide lagi. Maybe less than 20 lah. 20 or less. Enough lah. 1 hour punya soalan, 20 should be okay. 15 to 20 okay lah. 10 is quite unreasonable. Okay. Ada soalan tak before we end our session?
Sir, sorry sir.
Yes.
Tadi ada terlepas untuk formula untuk range tu.
Formula range.
Bagi lagi.
Range, okay. Range adalah macam ni, maximum value minus minimum value. So we know the formula for maximum. Let's say I letak maximum dekat sini, maximum value. So value, minimum value. Right. So maximum value is MAX. Ini kita dah belajar last lecture kan, maximum masa chapter chapter 1, chapter 2 tu kita dah belajar. Maximum value, let's say I select from G4 until G110. So I will get the maximum value is 167,000. Minimum value is MIN. And then select from G4 to G110. Range is maximum minus minimum. So kalau nampak dekat sini maximum, I letak dekat sini kan. In this one, maximum minus minimum. So maximum minus minimum. You will get the same answer lah. Okay. Boleh? So you need to understand two things dalam chapter 4 ni. First, how to use a single formula. Second is how to use the fastest formula using data analysis. They will give you all the value, right? So you can confirm back by using data analysis. Tapi tengoklah, I think better you need to know both lah. Senang untuk you. Okay. Soalan lain tak? Sebab I hope you will get the book as soon as possible, right? This is very important. You kena baca balik chapter 1 tu, right? Ratio, scale, type of data. I already mentioned in first chapter kan. What is a prescriptive analysis? What is a predictive analysis? What is a descriptive analysis? You need to explain that one. Okay? Soalan? And then I think I ada letak dalam group content, I think introduction to business analysis. I also put my slide here. I ada letak slide kan. You just make sure you tengok lah. Nanti akan update lagi. And don't forget to sign in your attendance. Siapa lagi belum sign? This is very important. Oh, semua dah sign dah. Very good. Oh, tak boleh verify lagi, belum habis. Okay. Okay. Soalan tak before we end our session?
No, sir.
Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much and Assalamualaikum and selamat Hari Raya, maaf zahir batin.
Thank you, sir. Selamat Hari Raya.
Selamat Hari Raya, sir.